Hi everybody, it's Jenny coming with an update. Round 2, HCG. I'm keeping all these awards up from my last class. I gave an assessment today. She received 5 awards just to make myself feel good and to project the impression that I am winning on this diet. While yesterday's day was not a winner. Do you ever have a day where you just throw caution to the wind and just kind of I almost never do it on HCG. I do it in my regular life all the time. Like, oh, I've already fallen off the bandwagon. I might as well just let it all go for the rest of the day and tomorrow start fresh. I think that all the time. I struggle with those thoughts constantly. Kind of ended up doing that a little bit yesterday. Sort of. I mean, not really. I just kept wanting more to eat. I can't really explain it. I can't. Although I will say, I am not going to make it a full round on my drops. For some reason, I just think this bottle didn't have as many drops, and this is the fourth out of 4 bottles that I bought, so I've had it for a while. So I'm thinking maybe some of it has evaporated over time from it, um, because now I'm down to like a lot of what I'm getting is almost like bubbles that are at the bottom of the jar. And it's so hard to get a dropper into the bottom of a jar. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. Um, but I just really had a rough day yesterday, a rough go. And I wasn't even going to tell you, I was just going to leave it at that and then just talk numbers. And then right before I got on here, I thought, no, full disclosure, this is what's going to help me keep accountable, and the next time I want to do this, I'm going to think about the fact that I have to talk about it on the channel, and it's going to prevent me from eating as much. So here we go, don't judge me. It was a rough day. Started off with after I was at the gym in the morning, so I taught my classes, went to the gym, worked out a little extra, more than I normally do. I actually did over an hour of cardio because I ran into a girlfriend at the end, and when I was going to go get my massages, she's like, what do you want to do together? So I did an extra 35 minutes on the treadmill next to her. Not that it was strenuous or anything, but at any rate. So yeah, so so that was all good. And then I got home and I just really wanted something. There was a little bit of taco meat left in the bowl, probably maybe 2 ounces. I mean, not a whole bunch. So I took that and just ate it cold with a spoon. I normally don't eat that early in the day. This was probably about 11:30 in the morning. I don't eat until 4 in the afternoon. So I ate that. And maybe that had something to do with it because on a normal day I try not to eat. I try to do intermittent fasting. Um, because the minute I start, the rest of the day is I'm going to want to eat. So the longer I can go before I have that first food, it's like it's like a addictive personality kind of thing. Like once you fall off the wagon, you have the first one, then you've fallen. Um, so I do the exact same thing with food, and because you have to have food every day, you can't eliminate it. What works for me is to try to go as long as possible without eating, which works because they're now saying intermittent fasting is a great thing for health and for weight loss. So that went out the window. So right away at 11:30 in the morning, I had some turkey taco meat. Okay, not so bad, right? And I was like, okay, that's fine. So later in the day, I decide I wanted a little something else. And remember how I said I still had a little bit of roast beef left over from the Amish country? I took a sniff of it because it's been a little bit. I'm like, it smelled amazing, smelled good. It was all shredded up. And I was just going to eat that out of the bowl. And then I thought, no, I'm going to make it like a meal so that I don't just keep grazing all day. So I went and got a low carb tortilla, put the meat in it, sprinkled a little bit, maybe a 16th of a cup, really just a dabbering of mozzarella cheese, and then added a bunch of lettuce. And then I do drizzle, probably maybe a teaspoon. I really don't put much, but a teaspoon of dressing on the top. So, and a serving's 2 tablespoons. So a teaspoon is literally it's just to not have so much of the green leaves without any flavor in it. So, and it's the honey mustard dressing and Caesar salad dressing are the only two dressings that I like. Um, so it's not a really good vinaigrette or something that you could put together that's very P2 friendly and appropriate. All right, so did that, ate it, a bunch of lettuce on it too, ate the whole thing, and then, okay, yeah, I'm good. Later in the day, I wanted another snack. I was in the pantry and I was looking at all the plethora of choices and was so tempted to get like the peanut butter cheese crackers. Those are like one of my weaknesses. There was a bunch of those. I'm like, no, no, no. I mean, even oatmeal, like a bowl of oatmeal, like, no, I'm not going to have those carbs. And then of course all the other like fun food that was in there. I'm like, nope, there's nothing in here. And I went into the refrigerator and um, now I ate up all the turkey taco meat, I ate up all the salsa chicken, and now I ate up all the roast beef. There used to be a plethora of meat choices in my refrigerator, and all of a sudden, boom, they were down. So I ate a hot dog, just a plain hot dog, warmed it up, just ate it, no bun. Um, so good that there was no bun involved, but still, here we go. This is our third meat that I've had for the day. Um, but it gets even better than that because then later on, the two worst epic fails. I had one of the keto chocolate almond bars. All right. Not an epic fail. Not an epic fail. An epic fail would have been a candy bar, right? So I had one of the keto chocolate bars, but this is where we fell completely off the wagon for the past day, maybe two. I think it's just been the past day. I think my husband got them yesterday. They stopped at Walmart, my husband and my son, after they were fencing, and they got a bunch of those Italian loaf of breads. And sometimes when they're like a golden brown, and sometimes they're like barely brown. They're like almost more white, which means they're a little bit undercooked, which makes them so soft and gooey. That is my ultimate favorite way to have it. They got 4 loaves of them. Mm. So I walked away all day yesterday and I walked away all day today, and then I was in my son's room and I was just dealing with a lot. There was a lot going on, a lot of balls in the air, a lot of things I'm handling and taking care of and whatnot. And I was talking to my son, trying to take care of putting out another fire, and there sitting on his desk was a loaf of the really soft one, and there was like a hunk ripped off the end of it because we get it not so if we got it sliced, we'd eat a lot less at a time, right? Because we'd grab one slice and go, oh, I have a slice of bread, because it's like air. A slice of bread would be almost nothing in your mouth. It's like a bite. But no, and I'm looking at like the molding of the bread and the nice white and like how it just looks like it came fresh out of the oven. And I just told my son, I go, now I get a hunk of that bread. And he goes, fair enough, because we were like dealing with something that he hadn't taken care of. And he goes, fair enough, help yourself. And I'm like, oh, it's not hurting him really. It's not like he owns the bread. I could have if I wanted to anyway, but ripped a hunk of bread off and ate it. Yeah. So how many total calories that was in the day? Who knows? I did go back and try to figure it out, and I do believe I still stayed under 1,000. Did I stay under 800? Not sure. Some people do this diet and they eat 800 calories a day. So it wasn't falling off the wagon, like rolling on the ground falling off the wagon, but it certainly was. I am hanging off the side and being dragged along. Not good. So the scale went up. No surprise. There's no way I'm going to eat that hunk of bread with that level of carbs and not have at least water retention. Then there's just the vast amount of food that I put into my body, and where did it go? It's still there until it gets burned and used, and then the rest gets eliminated from me. So all that food went into me. So I knew the scale was going to go up, and it went up 0.8. Mm-hmm. The one scale said it went up 0.8. The other scale said it went up 0.5. So I'll be honest with you, I'm actually happy that the numbers are what they are, because I felt like it was a really bad day, and I have to figure out how to get back on track now. Gotta figure out how to get back on track. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to really start looking into P3 stuff, and I might just have to go on it, although I really want to still lose weight. We'll see. I'm going to talk about immunity today, and this kind of goes into why I'm nervous about continuing on. Oh, I also forgot to check and see if I ordered more HCG or not. I know I meant to, and I was on PayPal at one point, but I don't know that it went all the way through if I actually put my credit card in or not. So even if I did, they're not going to come for a couple weeks. So there's no way around it. I have to end this round and move on. So I'm going to talk a little bit about immunity to HCG today. Or you know what? Yeah, let's talk about immunity. Here we go. I'm going to read right from the protocol. And I may have done this before, but it's good information to have. I have it written down here, but rather than still looking down, if I just read it, my eyes are up here. So it's rather than seeing the top of my head, it might be better. The reason for limiting a course to 40 doses is that, okay, so we talked yesterday that you can't do more than 40 doses, if I want to backtrack a little bit. That the round is 23 doses, 26 days on the diet because you do 3 days of no dose, but still eating the 500 calorie protocol, which there's a lot of controversy about that too. Most people do a sliding scale to that. Like the first day they do 500, the next day they do 800, the next day they do 1,000, and then they're off of it because, and they do that catering to hunger. Some people can't go the full 3 days without it in their system and then go to P3. The key is when you're on P3, don't throw all caution to the wind after that 3 days. Try to stay as close to that. Try to go as close to 5 days as you can of weaning, really, while you've completely stopped taking HCG, because you don't wean away HCG, you just stop taking it one day. But it takes a few days to get completely out of your system. All right. Still in my system with as horrible as I did yesterday. No surprise, the scale went up. Okay. The reason for limiting a course to 40 doses is that by then some patients may begin to show signs of immunity. Though this phenomenon is well known, we cannot yet define the underlying mechanism. Maybe after a certain length of time, the body learns to break down and eliminate HCG very rapidly, or possibly prolonged treatments lead to some sort of counter-regulation, which annuls the diencephalic effect. After 40 daily doses, it says, it takes about 6 weeks before this so-called immunity is lost and HCG again becomes fully effective. Usually after about 40 doses, patients may feel the onset of immunity as hunger, which was previously absent. In those comparatively rare cases in which signs of immunity develop before the full course of 40 doses has been completed, say at the 35th dose, treatment must be stopped at once, because if it is continued, the patients begin to look weary and drawn, feel weak and hungry, and any further weight loss achieved is then also at the expense of your normal fat. And this is not only undesirable, but normal fat is also instantly regained as soon as the patient has returned to diet-free eating. Patients who need only 23 doses may be injected daily, including Sundays, as they never develop immunity. In those that take 40 doses, the onset of immunity can be delayed if they are given only 6 doses a week, leaving out Sundays or any day that they choose, provided that it's always that same day of the week. On the days which they do not receive the doses, they usually feel a slight sensation of hunger. At first we thought this might be purely psychological, but we found that when normal saline is injected without the patient's knowledge, the same phenomenon occurs. So they did a study with a placebo effect and told people they were still getting it and they were still hungry. So indeed, if you do not use the dose that one day, you are still feeling a little bit of hunger that day, and you just have to suffer through it. But this is what keeps your body from being immune to it. So is that what's going on with me? I don't really think so. My first round, I think, how many days? I want to say about 30. Um, yeah, I did 30, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Oh my, 36, 37. I almost did 40 days. So I did 40, and then I took 4 weeks off. I didn't do the full 6 weeks. And so this might also be coming into play. I didn't realize I did it so long that first time. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. I do not like the fact that nothing's going on for the next 6 weeks and that I would not be on the diet during that time. I like to not be on the diet when I have things that are in my way. Oh my, oh my. All right, I will do my best. I still have HCG today. I'll still take it today. I'm gonna try to stick with the program and the plan, and I'm gonna keep doing updates while I'm off of it. I'll keep providing HCG information in that too, but it's gonna be interesting. I cannot allow myself in the next month to gain 9 pounds back like I did last time. So I'm going to need some sort of accountability, and I'm going to try to make sure that I keep my weight in the next 6 weeks, maybe 5, to um, yeah, maybe I'll do 5 weeks. I have another one of those Amish retreats at the end of August. I'm also in August taking my daughter back and forth twice on 2 trips to move her into her apartment down at Ohio State for vet school. So that's going to involve. So August is not a great month in terms of trying to be on this diet. These past, how many days am I on now? Day 19, day 20? Day 20. These past 20 days haven't been that bad. In fact, I mentioned to my daughter yesterday, oh, I can't wait till someday when I'm not on the diet and we can go. We were talking about desserts. And there's this great one that I found at a bar down in the Flats, which is in downtown Cleveland, that when I went to the NFL draft with my other daughter, we stumbled upon. And I talked about it on another video. I won't go into it, and it's certainly not at all diet appropriate or HCG appropriate, but it's what we had that day, and it was amazing. We shared it, and so we were talking about it, and I told this daughter, because she's like, someday I want to go have that campfire s'more dessert that you talked about. And I said, yeah, it'll be great when I'm not on a diet. She was like, oh, you on a diet? So like, no, but she didn't even know. And I said, yeah, for the past 18 days, I have only been, I've had no carbs, and I've been doing the restrictive 500 calorie diet. She's like, oh. So like, there are times when there aren't events happening that I can just kind of go about my day and quietly do whatever, and people aren't aware. And when you prepare, the tortilla with all the salad, and that looks like a normal pita lunch that anybody else would have. But it's harder when you travel, and August involves travel. So we'll see. I can't go the rest of the summer. Like, September would be perfect. Got nothing going on in September, right? So September would be a perfect month to be on this diet. But like, this is only June. I can't give up now and wait until September to start dieting again. I mean, I have a good another 10 pounds I need to lose. And then October's my weigh in anyway. And right now, I'm still 15 pounds away from where I need to be for that weigh in October. So, yeah, I need to figure this out, folks. I need to figure this out. I will talk through what I'm doing and how it's working, but I will stick with the HCG. I'll eat the regular protocol today. I'll keep taking the drops until they're done, and then I'll see how long I can try to continue eating the 500 calories after they're completely gone. I feel like the amount that's getting in the dropper is less than what I normally do, because I usually, do like one full injection of it, and it usually fills it up about this much. It's not much. And I feel like what I'm getting is much more is less because of the air bowls and that are in there than I normally get. So I feel like, and maybe that's part of it, that I've been kind of in the past 2 days or so decreasing the amount of actual HCG that's been going into my system. So that just means I have to be cognizant and know that I might want to eat more, and I might feel a little bit of what might feel like hunger coming on, and I need to just stick with the plan. I'm going to have to go look up and really get some good criteria also for P3 because I've never been good in P3. Usually I end this diet and it's because I'm like getting ready to take a vacation, getting ready to do this, getting ready to do that, and then I just like try to do my best, not eat as many calories as I can, and just let myself indulge. Okay, come here, kitty. Don't move the screen. I have to click. I'm not even seeing my camera, but I just could see the screen move, so I know that. There we go. Um, so, um, so yeah, so I guess that's what I'll do in the near future is talk about what are we going to do when we hit P3? What are we going to do when we hit the end of P2? How are we going to keep ourselves from gaining back everything that we lost? So I'll let you know what my plan is. I'll let you know how I'm doing, and I'll document that journey until I go back on HCG again, which I really want to start in about 3 weeks. It's not what the protocol says to do, and I really don't want to develop immunity. And I don't think I've developed immunity so far. Maybe what I'll do, maybe I'll try this out. Maybe I'll order some drops if I haven't already. I'll check into that as soon as I finish this. And I will do a round and I will skip a day of drops. Like they recommended, like I'll pick a Monday. I don't think I'll pick a weekend because then I'm just like around the food all the time. But like I'm busier on weekdays, so maybe I'll pick like a Monday and then and I'll let you know the results and how that works out for me. We'll talk about it on another video. All right, gotta go. Sorry this was a little bit of rambling, but it was kind of evolved into something I didn't expect to talk about. All right, let me know your journey and how successful you've been if you've been on P3 before and what you've done to help you stay on track and not fall off the wagon knowing you don't have HCG anymore in your system. It's really hard for me to not eat carbs, I tell you. It really is. All right, kitty cat, you're now in the way again. Let's say hello to everybody before we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Cosette, and I'm a sweet little thing. Okay. Sorry, this is all over the place. Take care. Bye.